What is happening, Magnusites? This is going viral. Elon Musk shared it. Some shady practices that are allegedly being exposed here. So let's check this out. Let's see what Disney is up to. Oh boy.
Certainly, there have been times where,
Michael Giordano, Vice President and Team Lead, 20th Television, the Walt Disney Companies. Okay.
the way we're on a White House.
Just kind of unspoken.
Wow.
There are times when it's spoken.
How would they say it?
There's no way we're hiring a White House. They'd say,
Like straight to you?
Yeah.
Or, okay.
They'd be very careful how they message that to agents.
According to these videotapes, Disney...
You know what it should be about? It should be about hiring the best person for the job. That's it. Male or female, or any color. Doesn't matter. Like, why are companies doing this? It doesn't make any sense. You know, it's a different thing, because they've been pushing this stuff forever. But it's like they're doing it even in their hiring practices. Like, people have been arguing and talking about this forever. Just keep the characters the way they should be fundamentally. You know what I mean? That's one argument. But then behind the scenes, they're doing this stuff with their own employees. It's like, look, get Pac-Man. Pac-Man's not blue. He's yellow. Just keep him yellow. Just keep him fundamentally sound. Just make him Pac-Man. Okay? Any character out there should be the race that they're supposed to be. That's it. Shouldn't be changing them up. You shouldn't be changing anything about them, really. You know what I'm saying? It's so ridiculous that they do it just to be inclusive when entertainment has been inclusive forever. And then on the separate side, behind the scenes, you're telling me they're doing the same thing with their employees? It's like, no, we can't hire this color. No, we can't hire that color. No, we need this color. Or we need this gender. This is what needs to be done. Like, it doesn't make sense. Your company, you should be hiring people that make your company run its best. It doesn't matter what color or gender they are. Just hire the best person for the job. It's not the same when you're casting something like Superman. Superman should be in shape. Okay? So you can't hire a portly man, okay, with a beer belly to be Superman. That's not Superman. You know what I'm saying? But it's still two different things. But it's just crazy that they're doing it on both sides. They're doing it with their casting characters for their movies and television shows, and they're doing it for their employees.
blatantly discriminates against white men in particular.
I think I'm sort of well prepared for it. I'm well positioned for it. But as far as Disney's concerned, I'm a white male. That's not who they're looking to promote as.
As a white guy, even Michael has his own doubts about the possibility for advancement for himself.
Check this out. Somebody I know right now is going through something really crazy. Right? At their job. And it's like 5 people that work this one position. And it's sad because it's stereotypical. But the person, and I don't even want to say, it bothers me to say it, but not all of us are like this. So, I know the truth, but it bothers me when I see black people out there fitting right into that stereotype. And the person is a black woman with 3 kids, single mother, really bad attitude. I've heard stories from several people that work at this place. And I'm like, yo, this person's going to get fired. But it's like, this person right here, you're telling me you would hire, they're always late. They're always taking extra long breaks. They're rude with customers. They're rude with people that work there. Like, and now they're going through this whole HR thing, because in certain positions, I found out, like in certain jobs, you can't just fire people like that anymore. There's a whole human resources process that has to be taken to fire someone. So, but you're telling me, they're like, oh, well, she's a black woman, we need to hire her. You're going to hire someone like that with all of those traits? I was told that the person, after being written up, in the same week, got 10 more complaints from customers. On top of that, you're rude to your coworkers and to customers, late from breaks, they disappear all the time, bad attitude. It doesn't make no sense. But the rest of them, okay, are different colors, okay, including, they're like white and Hispanic, and, but you're going to hire this person because you need to check a box? It's just so stupid, because they're hiring people not for you being the best person for the job, meaning you don't know who you're going to get. You can do interviews and you can see that one person is better, but because you need to fill this quota, you might hire a person that is missing the quality that this other person had. They both may be able to do the job well, but the person that you're not hiring may actually have a quality or two or more that enables them to exponentially perform the job better and make your company that much better. But because they're the wrong color or gender, you're not going to hire them. Ridiculous. That's insanity to me. I'm not even like a few seconds into this.
Self at Disney. In fact, Michael actually got to experience Disney's discrimination against white males firsthand.
I've been at the company 11 years now, so I have friends in HR and I have friends in those divisions. And look, nobody else is going to tell you this, Mike, but they're not considering any white males for the show. They're just not. That's what they want.
They even passed over a qualified half-black person for a promotion.
And here's the thing. It's been done both ways for years anyway. We all know this. Discrimination has been done, whether it's against women, whether it's against people of different colors or even cultures. It's been done. Companies need to stop this. You hire the best person for the job. That's it. I cannot stand that they do this, because there's different people of different colors that are perfectly good people. They will give you the shirt off of their back. They would jump in front of a bullet for you. And you're not going to hire them, allowing them to feed their family. But you know what? At the same time, if it was me, I'd be like, I'm glad you didn't hire me, because I don't want to work for a company like this. That's how I would feel personally. But this is sad.
Promotion because they didn't look black enough.
We wanted to hire somebody in the department a few years ago now, who was not.
This coincides with how I told you about how these companies are like, they'll put these black actors in the roles, right? And then to make us more authentic. And yeah, I know other black people have noticed this. Like, they don't have my haircut. No, they don't have this. This is a burst fade south of France. But they don't have that. No. What do they give us? The Killmonger. We have to have braids or dreadlocks. Yes. That makes it more authentically black. Yes, he really looks African now, doesn't he? Oh, it's ridiculous.
Black, but didn't appear at black. And there was a creative executive who was like, we're not, that's not.
That's like my cousin. He's half black, he's half white. You've seen him before, James Grizzly. And he, he told me, though, he said a lot of people actually can see that he's got something in him, or he's mixed, But if you look at him, sometimes he just looks like a biker dude with dreads. Like, he's got that look. He looks depending on, because like the beard, sometimes I'm thinking like he has that biker dude type of, thing. But then sometimes you'll see him, because he's got the dreadlocks, he know where the weed at. You got what I'm saying? That's like, but he's got that look. I think he's got like green eyes, and it's but because because there's mixed people that look like me. Okay, so if he's mixed and he look like me, then he will look black enough. It's
Like, they wanted somebody in meetings who would appear a certain way, and he wasn't gonna bring that to the meeting. I mean,
why are the meetings on video? And then people are watching, they're like, oh, look at the diversity. Look, the rainbow of the world is in here. Ridiculous! Disney, stop, please. Disney, see, and like I said, Disney, I've always been nice to you. I don't call you names. I'm not mean. I don't call for your downfall or nothing. You guys need to get it together. You do, because who knows how viral this is going to go? This could make your stock fall even lower. This is...
it kind of feels like we're, at some point there's going to be a lawsuit. That's kind of how it feels, just because of,
And that is a lawyer talking. So how does Disney explain pushing these discriminatory practices? They use code words and buzzwords.
I'm guessing that there's acceptable code words and buzzwords that are used to explain what they're looking for. They might say something like, look, we're not looking at like the usual suspects for this job. Wait a minute. Something where we're not looking at like looking for. They might say something that are used to explain what they're looking for. They might say something.
Okay, so he says, I'm guessing. So that doesn't mean that he's heard them say these buzzwords. But from his experience in office, he's assuming that there is something like that being done.
Like, look, we're not looking at like the usual suspects for this job. So it's like not like a legally actionable thing. So everybody knows what it means. They, the writers and actors hear all the time. They're like, looking to hire writers and actors who bring diversity. I'm not looking to bring on any more clients who are
Disney Tapes. My name is James O'Keefe, standing here in Burbank, California, outside Disney corporate headquarters. This is our first part in a series about blatant discrimination and woke policies at the Walt Disney Company.
Here's the weird thing. Why wasn't this done way back when it needed to be done? When discrimination was truly, really running rampant in the United States. Why didn't they think to do this then? But now, when everything is diverse, and yes, we still have racism and discrimination in this world, but not as at least talking about this country, it's not like it used to be, or at least as overt. You know what I mean? So, like, why now? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Because, whatever.
To say that the Disney company has had a tumultuous 5 years, well, that would be an understatement. Major box office flops, a losing battle with the state of Florida, and a stock that is one of the worst performers on Wall Street.
Yeah, let me see what their stock is now.
From this report, as well as recent shareholder rumblings, almost all of Disney's recent failings are as a result of Bob Iger and the cast of characters here at Disney that are trying to force woke DEI policies into every aspect of Disney's vast media empire. What used to be a highly profitable company by being the gold standard of family entertainment has taken a sharp downturn in the wake of all of its wokeness. Under CEO Bob Iger's leadership, Disney's...
they say woke turns everything to ish. And it's been happening for them. They are like the poster child for it.
Downfall likely started with the insane hiring practices amongst its executives and creative teams. One of their top senior vice presidents claims that they not only discriminate against white men when recruiting and hiring middle management, they actually give bonuses for hiring and retaining employees that are specifically not white. According to these videotapes, Disney...
So you know people are like, ain't nobody white getting hired today. I'm hiring all black folk, all Latinos, all Indians. Hey, don't you come in here if you wear suntan lotion. Don't do it. If you wear Sunblock 300, do not come in here. That is a damn shame. And you know people are doing it just to get a buck. You know they are. Their stock is at $102.36.
Blatantly discriminates against
Wow.
white men in particular. Not a week goes by without a news headline about potential medical supply shortages, threats to our infrastructure, or power grid. And you remember what they pulled during the last pandemic. Certain medications were mysteriously out of stock. No way will I ever let that happen again. In today's unpredictable world, it's all about being prepared for who knows what they have in store for the next pandemic, ensuring you'll have access to Vital Emergency Kit at TG and save $45 per kit today when you use code O.
Very involved in like setting standards to make sure that our shows have diversity.
Do you think like Bob has a say in the diversity stuff when they're casting people? Like
100%.
to what?
He gives the directive. I mean,
For each show?
I mean, not that specifically, but like, hey, I want
Every show, yeah. He lets them know. So
Iger even as a chief diversity
That's-
officer. Now, up until recently, that was
that's very interesting because it's like, I've told you guys, like, when I watch certain shows, it's like you immediately, once you've seen the charts for DEI and ESG and what the boxes that they check, as you're watching the show, you see it being done. Okay, it's like, okay, black gay woman in a position of authority, okay. White woman in position of authority, okay. Black man in position of authority, okay. Like, you just see this. It's so strange to see it now.
was
And
Latino.
then, like, they all go to pick up their friends, and one's an Asian guy, one's an Indian guy, even though Indians are Asian. The next guy is Arab. Then this guy's black. Then they pick up the white guy last, and then they go pick up the trans man. It's like they're checking all these boxes just to say they're diverse. It's so weird, and then it just looks out of place because it's so overt that, you know what I mean? It's weird.
Chandra Newton, who played a big part in dragging Disney full bore into its losing culture war by promoting discriminatory hiring practices and introducing gay, lesbian, transgender, non-binary, and other characters into Disney's children's animated series and films.
Is it like an all-across thing, like all of HR, or there's like that one specific person that kind of like... Because like, I forgot the lady's name, she's the head of...
No, I feel bad for this dude because he's on a date spilling his guts, and I mean, I don't know. Is he going to lose his job? Is he going to get fired? Like, what's going to happen? I mean, is this NDA stuff that he's not allowed to talk about? Because if it is, then he probably would. He seems like a nice guy. I don't know.
I know you're talking about the head of
the African American lady, yeah. So is that like kind of her deciding?
She oversees a lot of that for sure. But it's pretty broad, I would say. There are other people in HR who are also focused on that. I would say a relatively large percentage of our top writer creators happen to be done. And a lot of
Just by happenstance.
Yeah, it just happened, yeah.
just like if you say whatever, I don't know.
They hired him that way.
10 or 15% of the population is gay. I would guess 35% of our top writers are going to be, gay. And so I think a lot of them leaning into trans stories more than...
They made sure they did that. That wasn't just, oh, wow, you are too? Wow! now they made sure.
Yeah, for straight writer would.
And in an odd twist, you have to be a white Jewish guy to be considered for a C-suite job. More on that next week. But now, let's meet Los Angeles-based Michael Giordano, a white male and Walt Disney Senior Vice President of Business Affairs.
I do like business affairs, so like negotiations for television.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Nice. That's really cool.
Not really like on the creative side. So a lot of it is like knowing
That's really cool.
negotiations for television.
Oh,
okay.
okay, gotcha. Nice. That's really cool.
Not really like on the creative side. So a lot of it is like knowing like the guild agreements and the union agreements and everything. Like make offers for the writers and the actors who are going to be working on the show and the producers and the directors, and try to like get to a place where we can close a deal with them, up the production to budget, and so much of my job is just the negotiating road. And then other people are doing kind of the contracts. So,
Oh, wow. So, yeah, what's the negotiating like?
I'm like sitting down and trying to figure out, okay, what are we gonna pay this actor for this role? What do we think they want?
Oh, wow.
Kind of strategize that.
Oh, wow.
From, how you produce a show, how you distribute a show, how you exhibit a show, how you market a show, things like that. All of the negotiations and filmmaking that related to it.
Yeah.
One, well, actually two of our brave undercover journalist and American swiper investigative reporters met Michael on the dating app Hinge. And aside from this story, which focused on Disney's overt discrimination against white men, you'll see later on in this report, and it'll be quite entertaining, Michael turns out to be quite the ladies' man.
How long have you been like dating out?
Not very long.
Have you been going out with
Not a lot. Not a lot.
anything like boring?
You know what's funny? No.
Let's dig right into Disney's
Wait,
blatant
what?
Boring.
You know what's funny? No.
Been on like dating out.
Not very long.
Have you been going out with
Not a lot. Not a lot.
anything like boring?
You know what's funny? No.
Let's dig right into
Okay.
Disney's blatant
Well, something
practices
special
of
was
discrimination. If you're wondering how Disney as a company looks at race, gender, and discrimination in the hiring process, about how they recruit and hire talent, look no further.
I think there are times when it's like so front and center. It's like great because that's the focus. Like we have so many shows where we're casting and we're like, we're not even going to see certain people for it because we need that particular role to.
Yeah.
To
So is it intentional that they want, like, they only look for diverse candidates for certain roles?
Yeah. I think there's certainly a belief that it's just.
Makes me wonder where the camera is. Is it in her shirt? Is it in a jacket she's wearing? I assume she's not sitting, but like her purse just sitting there on her lap or something. I'm trying to think of where it might be.
For society, and they know. But there's also a belief that, like, we're going to make more money if we appeal to a wider variety of people. And it's a good thing.
And you're not! They think they're not, though. When was this report? When did they talk to him? Because they are not making more money. They're losing money. They're losing subscribers. They're losing people from the parks. Like, their stock is dropping. Why would they continue to do this?
We have shareholders too, and so diversity helps with that.
Diversity helps with financial incentive. So is it like, do you think it's more so on that side, or are you think like any good prices gets put to use? Or
Regardless. I think it gives me regardless. But I think that there are, like, even conservative people who may not want to lean into it can easily make the argument that, like, we make more money when we appeal to a wider variety of people, and that means diversity.
yeah.
There's a real focus on every show. And I'm sure the movies too, that I don't deal with that side of it. So, just making sure that the writers' room has a real, diversity, not just gender or sexual orientation and ethnicity, but, making sure that they're hiring some writers who may have certain disabilities where they wouldn't have hired before. Since there's kind of a really broad look whenever we're doing hiring to make sure
Yeah.
that everybody wins.
Yeah.
So they talk a big game about DEI, but do they actually do it? Apparently so. They even passed over a qualified half-black person for a promotion because they didn't look black enough.
Yeah.
We had a situation where we wanted to
Ain't that a damn shame? They're qualified, but because he didn't look black enough. It's so sad, man.
hire somebody in the department a few years ago now, who was half black, but didn't like appear half black. And there was a creative executive who was like, "We're not like that's not what's black." Like
They wanted the full.
they wanted somebody in meetings who would appear a certain way, and he wasn't.
You know, could you look more urban when you say that? Oh shit. Oh, exactly. Say it just like that. Like that's how it makes me feel hearing stuff like this.
Wasn't gonna bring that to the meeting.
And so this is like on the
This was on the
corporate side, like the business side.
Never understood that. Is it like, 'cause I know a lot of, like, I have like a lot of black friends who like are not as dark as, like, you know. So do they care about that, or it's like the ethnicity actually?
They say they don't care about it, but the truth is, to some extent, they do. If you're mixed, right, you don't look black at all, or sometimes
Just saying, I'm eating with the chopstick. Make me want some Chinese food right now. Woo!
happens,
Yeah.
then they're like, oh, I'm not so sure. But if you're mixed and you can tell they're somebody's part black, but they're not like that black, then okay, that was so, yeah, crazy. But apparently, Meghan Markle.
Colorism running rampant. Listen, colorism has been running. It's so. God, we are insane as a species, man. We really are. We are some of the most intelligent, creative beings on this planet. But we are so stupid at the same time. It's amazing. You know, I got a buddy, he's Filipino, and he was telling me how his mom was telling him, because he loved to surf. He grew up in Hawaii, and she was like, son, get out of the sun. You're getting so dark. He's like, Mom, I love surfing. Like, what are you talking about? Like, when he would surf and be in the sun, he would get to my color. You know what I mean? When he's not surfing, I guess when he's in the house a lot, he's more of kind of like a caramel color. Listen, to anyone watching, whatever color you are, there's nothing wrong with your color. Okay? Good Lord, man.
Is black enough? You can't make this up.
So would like Meghan Markle, who's pretty white.
Right, yeah.
But she doesn't look white,
She would
though.
still be, yeah.
No, you can tell with Meghan Markle, like, you're not going to think she's a white woman at all. Like, to tell you the truth, I think when I first saw her, I thought she could have been a Hispanic or something. But, you know, a lot of people that have that look, you really don't know what they are sometimes. Like, sometimes they're mixed black and white, but sometimes they look Hispanic. You know, sometimes they might look like they're Arab. Sometimes they might look like that. You know, just so many areas that mixed people can, you know, fit into. A guy came up to me the other day, started speaking Spanish. He was Dominican. He told me I looked like a guy from the capital of the Dominican Republic. So he wanted to see if I was him. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Like, depending on the setting where I go, sometimes people think I'm Dominican. You go to Puerto Rico, you go to Trinidad, you go to Brazil, there are these Brazilians, Trinidadians, Puerto Ricans, they literally look exactly like me, like they could be my cousin. Because you have a particular thought of what they look like, but the stereotype of what they look like to you. So, you know, when you see that they can look exactly like Leticia Scarlo, or they can look like me, or they can look like something caramel in between, sometimes darker, or sometimes literally like a white person. Like, I got a friend that's Puerto Rican. She posted something on her page with the chick from Ted 2 with the big eyes that he called Gollum. With her, like, I think she's in some other movie, like at a lunch table, like with a funny look on her face, and it says, she's like, if you're Puerto Rican, you're Puerto Rican, So why are you white? See? That's because people forget or just don't know that these different cultures or nationalities, whatever have you, races, they come in a blend, a rainbow sometimes.
Huh? As a white guy, even Michael has his own doubts about the possibility for advancement for himself at Disney, saying, quote, "As far as Disney is concerned, I am a white male."
Now I'm like,
You know, it's kind of weird. It makes me think of this whole thing, you know, this whole debate over white privilege and stuff. And, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, it's almost like they're just going back the opposite direction. It's like, they're like, okay, you've had white privilege enough. Now we're going to make sure it's a minority privilege. But why isn't it just, all right, instead of making things equal for everybody, why now start to, you know, because there's a lot of white people and other ethnicities who's, you know, their family bloodline and they had nothing to do with the atrocities that happened to other people. You know what I mean? So it's like they're just a guy looking for a job and then you do that to him. You know what I mean? Like, no. It should be just, hey, everybody's on equal footing. Let's hire the right person for the job. That's it. I remember I had a manager say to me one time, and I feel like he was serious, but he was joking at the same time. But he might not have been. But it was around a time, a little after you were hearing about like stuff like affirmative action and stuff. And I brought in a few people to be hired at the job. 2 were black, and it was a black woman, black man. I both knew them. And 1 was my Filipino friend, so he was brown. And so you got black, brown, even though they're all brown. You know what I mean? I always wonder why they call us black when we're not black. Like, we're literally brown. Pretty brown, too. Anyway, so lost my train of thought. I was making a joke. Sometimes that throws me off. My own jokes throw me off. Okay, so he goes, hey, Ty, you got anybody else you want? You can bring me in? I'm like, you need to hire more? He's like, yeah. You're bringing me too many brown guys. You white guys? I'm getting to my number here. Getting to my limit. And he had to know him. He was really funny like that. He had me dying. And I was like, I don't know nobody white that needs a job right now, but as soon as I think of somebody, I'll bring them in for you. Because at the time, my girlfriend was white, and I got her a job there. So, but at this hiring period, I brought in 3 brown people. So he made that joke, but I'm like, I think he's partially serious here.
half step below a department head. I have a team under me, but I don't oversee a whole department. And I'd like to oversee a whole department, whether that's at Disney or having to lead. So.
Okay. Do you think that you'll have the opportunity at Disney?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I think I'm sort of like well prepared for it. I'm well positioned for it.
But you might not get it because you're the wrong color.
As far as Disney's concerned, I'm a white male. That's not who they're looking at promote at the moment.
In fact, Michael actually got to experience.
He said, as far as Disney's concerned, I'm a white male. See that? As I was going to say, because Giordano, I'm like, I think he's Hispanic. You know what I mean? Giordano. That sounds Hispanic to me. It also could be Italian. And, a lot of Italians get really dark. They have, black blood in them. So, yeah.
Experience Disney's discrimination against white males firsthand.
So.
Oh, do you think that has a lot to do with it?
Well, I don't know a lot, but it's something to do with it.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you think the competition is?
Well, I mean, I've been up for jobs internally against people who have less experience than me, and you know, what happened about.
Okay. And they were given to somebody else. Do you think it had something to do with their...
In one or two cases, you know, I was told very explicitly that it did. Yeah.
Explicitly how? What did they tell you?
I mean, you know, I've been at the company 11 years now, so I have friends in HR and I have friends in those divisions, and they're like, look, nobody else is going to tell you this, Mike, but they're not considering any white males for a shot. They're just not. That's not what they want.
And so it's
That's
kind
so
of like...
messed up. You got the skills, the tenure, you know everybody, you do your job well, and you don't get it because you're the wrong color. And, you know, I know there's minorities out there that's like, yeah, and stick it to them. Now they know what it's like. But I don't think we should be moving in that direction. We should be moving, we shouldn't be going as far as history tit for tat, because different cultures and races have ruled the world at different times. Different cultures and ethnicities and races have been enslaved at different times, and, you know, going to war and all this other stuff and hurt their own people. Look, we need to stop pointing the finger as humans. Just start treating each other as humans. If we treated everyone, that's that golden rule. Treat people the way you want to be treated. We have a beautiful world of different cultures, different races, different people. And it's like, it's just that tribalism, and you did this and we did that, and there's not enough payback, or this, it's insane, man. You know what I mean? It's, you know, that's one of the reasons why I think God's definitely real, because I'm like, man, it's going to take a God to fix all the insanity of our world and all the hate that we have. And it's
fair that Disney would say, we don't want a white person to play this role.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're very careful about they're very careful about messaging, because they don't want to get to discrimination in either direction. But certainly there have been times where, you know, there's no way we're hiring a white male person.
Just kind of unspoken.
There are times when it's spoken, but
How would they say it?
there's no way we're hiring a white male person. They'd say,
Like straight okay.
they'd be very careful how they message that to agents.
In like email or whatever.
But
After getting a dose of Disney
Wow.
discrimination himself, it seems like Michael may have been hit with a reality check that discrimination against people based upon race is probably not cool.
I mean, it kind of feels like we're, you know, at some point there's going to be a lawsuit. That's kind of how it feels, just because of, you know.
And that is a lawyer talking. Now, could it get worse? It actually does.
Wow.
Not only does Disney discriminate against white men, it gives management bonuses to hire DEI candidates over white men.
I feel like this is gonna blow up. This is not good for Disney.
Totally disregarding their level of qualification, as long as they're not white. You heard me correctly. A part of some executives' compensation package is based on hiring and retaining black hires.
It's in your paperwork.
We saw
Yo, dude, listen, this could be Disney burning to the ground now. Think about this for a second. Almost everything they're putting out right now is terrible, right? You've got people not coming to the parks as much. You've got the stock dropping. You've got millions leaving Disney Plus. You got all the movies bombing. You've got the Gina Carano case. They're going to Discovery now. So we're going to hear about all these emails. And you've got this? Is this not the perfect, not even storm, cataclysm, Armageddon for Disney? Like, this is like, I don't know. You know, it's funny. Like, part of me is like, this is something that could totally destroy the company forever. All of this combined. It'd be different if everything was thriving right now and this came out. You know what I'm saying? But it's not.
In the case of IBM, America First Legal has launched a lawsuit. Many people coming out of the woodwork from IBM, from these Fortune 500 companies, all saying they've experienced this. We are certain to hear from people inside Disney who've made these claims. Many people here in Los Angeles, here in Hollywood, very afraid of Disney, very afraid of retaliation against their creative productions or movies or films or jobs for speaking about this truth. But if you have been a victim of discrimination, please reach out to OMG or Citizen Journalism Foundation. We will try to get you representation to get your rights back. I've had it with all my personal and private information being exposed and my new go to take your
HR keeps it in a huge spreadsheet. Yeah.
What kind of spreadsheet?
Well, I mean, I haven't seen it exactly, but I mean, literally, like, you know, they have stats. 17% of our executives at this level identify as XYZ. 40% of our executives at this level identify as, you know, they have goals that they're trying to hit. They want a certain percentage of diversity here, a certain percentage of diversity there.
Is their goal destroying the company? Because that's literally what has been happening. Like, it's not even like up for debate. The company has been going downhill. Like,
It's like, these are open goals because you're saying they can't say it in such specific terms. So are they open goals?
They are open goals at a senior enough level.
So how does Disney explain pushing these discriminatory practices to the people that they work with? Well, according to Michael Giordano, it seems like it's a sensitive issue, and they use code words and buzzwords.
I'm guessing that there is a acceptable code words and buzzwords that are used to explain what they're looking for. They might say something like, you know, look, we're not looking at like the usual suspects for this job. You know? So it's like not like a legally actionable thing. So everybody knows what it means.
According to Michael, even Disney's human resources agencies are on board with these practices. Hi guys, do you know what the code words are for the discriminatory hiring practices? Do you work in HR? No?
like, what in the hell is going on here?
You familiar with the buzzwords? They don't know what I'm talking about now, but they will soon.
They, you know, the writers and actors, I'll hear all the time, like, you know, I'm looking to hire writers and actors who bring diversity, and I'm not looking to bring on any more clients who are, like, you know, so there's definitely that focus.
Disney even has an internal organization such as 20th Action Group, whose sole purpose is to promote discriminatory DEI hiring practices and to push bizarre characters and storylines on children. The question is, can the people just come to work, make their cartoons, and do the discrimination elsewhere? But apparently not on CEO Bob Iger's watch. So how has prioritizing these DEI practices over hiring merit-based talent worked out for Disney shareholders, you might ask? Well, over the past 5 years, the S&P index is up over 88%, and Disney is down almost 30%, making that once golden brand one of Wall Street's biggest disappointments. Yes, the disaster that Disney has become is...
That's what I said. It's been destroying the company.
It's probably the most glaring example of what happens when you prioritize DEI over talent content creators and executives who truly know how to build value. So will Disney turn it all around and hire or promote based upon merit? We shall see. This is just part one. We got another tape coming out next week. This is a multiple part series. I spoke with Michael Giordano. You'll see that soon.
We are.
You have nothing to say?
Haven't seen you. Do you work for Disney?
I'm not gonna.
Is this you right here?
Oh, boy.
And hopefully we get a comment from the CEO, Bob Iger, reporting from Burbank, California, outside the Walt Disney Company. This is James O'Keefe with OMG.
Oh, I feel bad for dude. He seemed like a nice guy. Well, there you have it, folks. How do you roll it? Post comments down below. Let me know what you all thought. If you enjoyed my reaction and thoughts on this, hit the like button, subscribe, and share.